Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to skin out the foot of a coyote. This year with lower fur prices, you know, there's bound to be a lot more people out there that's going to tan up their own for wall hangers or taxidermy or such as that. So anyway, you know, if you tan up your own hides for wall hangers, it's really kind of cool if you leave the feet on them, you know. I mean, it kind of gives it that little extra. So leaving the feet and the pads and claws and everything, it's really not that big of a deal to do. So we're going to go through that in this video. I'll show you where I've got from here. As far as knives go, you're working with tiny bones and stuff, so you don't want a big knife. I prefer a first cut knife. You know, it's got a small tip on it. And then I really like if you have some sort of a serrated knife. It's a lot easier, you know, on your knife edges, you know, because you're working around bones in tight spaces. So anyway, you can see here, this is the hind foot of a coyote, and all I've done is I've went ahead and whenever I skinned the coyote out, I made my initial opening cut, and then you can see right there, I just cut that leg off, and then during my initial cut, I split the leg, and I'm about 3/4 of an inch above the D-pad right here with my cut, and then that way you can go ahead and you can skin your critter and then come back later and go ahead and finish skinning out the foot. So it's really not that big of a deal. Like I said, you can do it on all 4 feet. I just got him hanging up here so his back foot. So anyway, we'll get started here and show you guys really how it works. Okay, so basically, like I said, I've got them hung up here. You can see this is where I've got to this point. Now, I wash all my fur, so I go ahead and skin them. And then I'll wash them after I do this process. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down to right above the D-pad. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to work around the hide and the meat there. And if you give yourself a little bit and you have some sort of a clamping system like I have here, it makes it real nice because once you get this skin down, you can actually put this into the clamping system and pull on it. So anyway, you'll have a set of bones, and that's actually what ends up as your claws. And what we're going to do is, as soon as we get past the D-pad, there'll be 3 joints, and we're going to want to go to the last one. So you can see now I've got it skinned down to the D-pad. There's the foot, there's the 4 pads, there's the 4 bones. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to move this up into my clamping system where I can get a little bit more pull on it. It does help. And we'll just take it and we're just going to work right down and basically skin it down as you would the face or any other thing. It's not the quickest thing in the world to do, but it's not that difficult once you get going. It's just more tedious than anything. Like I said, if you have the ability to clamp the bone like I do right here, it makes it a lot easier because you can actually pull down on the hide and put pressure on it. You can see I've switched to my serrated knife just because you're cutting into the bone and it'll dull a regular knife fairly quick. Okay, now you can see that glob of fat right there. That is the D-pad. So now we're past it. And at this point, you can see, I'll separate that. You can see the 4 individual bones right there. And what we're going to want to do is the outside ones are actually shorter than the inside ones, so it's easier if you just start at the outside and work in. Okay, we've got joint number 1 right up here, joint number 2 right here. So we're going to work down to joint number 3. And all it is that joint is just a ball and socket joint. So all you got to do is work down to where that ball socket meets and just make a cut straight through. We'll come over here to this outside one. And like I said, if you can get tension on it, there's the ball. Now you're not cutting the bone, you're just separating where that ball and socket meets. And you can see right here, that's where the ball and socket meets. That's number 2. Okay, now we'll come down here and we're working from out to in, because you can see these are a lot longer than the outside ones. Like I said, if you can pull, it's a lot easier. So we'll come down here to this one. And you can see right there is the ball and socket joint. These two here are about the same length, so I find it easier just to work them together. There's that one right there. We'll make a cut right through that ball and socket. There's number 3. And we'll come down here and get the last one. Now you see where I talk, this is your first joint, second joint, and then third joint. So you want to make sure you're getting on the bottom joint, that way you don't leave anything on there. Finally, here's the ball, cut right through. The socket part, you can flip. The foot back out. And there you have a perfectly skinned out foot. All the claws are there, all the pads. You've cut right down to the D-pad. Now whenever you board this thing, you can either flip your foot out, turn it right side out and it'll dry like that, or it's just as easy. What I do is I take and I dump some borax down in that cavity, and then I'll take a paper towel and put on top of that, and that'll absorb that moisture. You change the borax out a little bit every once in a while. Now of course, whenever you're doing the front feet and you board this coyote, you'll have to keep the feet outside of the critter. First standard is to keep the feet in, so you're kind of dedicated to it once you've started it. But anyway, like I said, it's not at all a big deal. You can get real quick at them once you get going, and like I said, for wall hangers and such, it makes a real nice presentation. So anyway guys, there it is. Hope that helped. Till next time.